Welcome to the Scene Snobs Podcast.
Happy 6th year, everyone. Welcome to the Scene Snobs Podcast. Special night, special episode, impromptu as hell. And Paul and I are here. Welcome, Paul. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I feel good. I finally buzzed the head so I can finally breathe a little bit.
Oh, yeah, especially out there now with the fall weather seems to be hitting. We're getting there slowly but surely. It's starting to feel like Halloween, even though we're in the middle of friggin' October. Well, it's the 6th. It's still early.
It's the middle. It already feels like the middle. That's the sad part. I was like, oh, shit, is Halloween next week? Then I was like, nah, I just started this one.
Dude, it does feel like it, doesn't it? It does feel like it's going so fast, but we're still enjoying it. No, we're having a good time. It's only the 6th. It's our 6-year anniversary of the podcast and the channel. And we're gonna talk about some movies, and I just want to do something for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we didn't get a chance to do our F-Off episode, which tradition here is always before the anniversary episode. We usually do an F-Off episode, but we've been having a lot of guests lately. We haven't had a chance to do it. We have no guests on Friday, and it's going to be our F-Off episode. And it's going to be about talking about things we hate.
Oh shit! It's gonna be fun.
I figured if we're gonna go that route for Friday, we might as well actually have an anniversary episode today. So appreciate you being here, my friend. I know it's impromptu, but you showed up, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, I was excited.
Let's get these movie reviews out of the way, so that way, because there's two I really want to know what you think about, but. I'll do the first one. I was the one that got to see the first one, and that was the official release party of A Showgirl. This is the new Taylor Swift album release party. Apparently, my wife, who is a Swiftie, told me that she usually does these big private release parties for like top fans and stuff like that. I guess if you can buy tickets, you can go. But this time around, nothing came out. There's no real marketing for this. It was just kind of announced that for the weekends, she was going to put out this official release party of her new show, The Life of a Showgirl, or of her new album, The Life of a Showgirl. So we went and we saw this. And now I was going in expecting maybe like a behind the scenes look at the making of the album. Sort of, she's done that before. So I was looking forward to that. I do like music documentaries, I should say. I figured, with the new album coming out, I didn't know much about it. It was all brand new. It just come out like Friday. So go listen to some of the songs, and I like her as a filmmaker. She makes some good choices in her music videos. So, and she does talk a lot about when I went to the Eras tour on the stage, like I had to sit there for like 8 hours before the show even freaking started. So while I'm sitting there, thankfully she puts up on the screen like all her behind the scenes stuff and how she makes all these different music videos. Me being a guy who loves watching filmmaking, that was a lot of fun. It was also a lot of fun for me to see everybody setting up for the live event and things like that. So going to this, I was like, maybe we'll get more of that and like what goes into making, because it's a big deal. She puts a lot of work in. This is literally just the album. This was some of the most boring moments of my life. I had to sit there. It was low energy. It didn't seem like anybody cared. Like the movie theater was sold out. Don't get me wrong, but it was a smaller movie theater. Nobody was cheering. Nobody was like clap on. Nobody was like really like, it didn't feel that energy that I've seen in other places and at other times. So like I was not feeling it. And also it was just sort of a boring experience. You go in, she's sitting in a chair providing commentary on each song. She shares the fate of Ophelia, which I'll get to in a second. But she made a music video for that. So she shares the music video because it's the first song in the album. Then every other one's sort of like a lyric video where she see the lyrics on the screen and pictures of her or videos of her and such, like in a kaleidoscope view. Again, all of it was very I'm sitting here just watching and listening to her new album. Then she's adding context to, I guess, the songs, which I don't believe it. The songs don't match up with what she was saying they were about. And it's very overt in a lot of ways. The song Wood, which she kind of owned, and yeah, it is about Travis Kelce, so to speak, his football, I guess, if you will. And but there are others that are like can be find a little bit troubling just based on the fact that it's like, what are you talking about? Like nothing you said this song was about is being conveyed in this song. It's not one of my more favorite albums of Taylor Swift, and I don't really have a favorite album. I do like her songs. My wife is more into the Swiftie side of it, but it just was kind of lackluster and boring, if I'm being honest. With everything we had gotten over the years, this is even one that came back, and I was just like, this might be your worst one yet. Not to say that maybe I just didn't get it, but I think I did. I'm not that dense. So I will just say this. I gave it a 2.5. out of 5, mostly for the fact that she did capture me by showing behind the scenes filmmaking on that one music video, and she intersplices it between her commentary and stuff. So you do see more of it as you're going along, and I do like that behind the scenes. As far as the music went, wasn't a big fan. The lyric videos, I'm never a big fan of lyric videos anyway, so I just found the whole experience really boring, besides that filmmaking side of it. Also, stop lying. You've never read Shakespeare. You clearly have never read Hamlet. You maybe read the Wikipedia. You don't. Ophelia. And I don't care who gets mad at me for that. You clearly do not understand the character of Ophelia in those books, and you're basing it off portrait and what you think. There's no open interpretation about Ophelia. Ophelia is the tragic being that we all know in that play, and we know why when we read the story. So when I saw that as a Shakespeare fan, I little perturbed about that. Especially considering she put her fiance or boyfriend down for not being a Shakespeare fan. I'm like, but you're not, because you don't understand anything. You don't understand the character. I'm not dumb. I'm just saying people like to pretend they've read Shakespeare and they don't know it, and I like Hamlet. My favorite's Julius Caesar, but make a movie about that. But not Taylor Swift, somebody. But like when it comes to the Fate of Ophelia, it's a catchy little tune. It was a cool music video. I like what she did with the music video and what she was trying to say about Ophelia, but the fact that you said that Travis Kelce saved you from a fate of Ophelia, that does not coincide with I'm not even just read anybody out there, just actually read Hamlet before you debate that. But one of the greatest plays of all time, so it's not a hard read. It's a fun read. It's an interesting read, and I love Shakespeare, but you clearly don't understand it. And I'm sorry I went off on a little tangent there. It does get annoying to me. However, this might even be struck down to a 2 out of 5.
You just talked yourself down.
I just talked myself to a 2 out of 5. So I think I give this a 2 out of 5. It just wasn't great for me. I'm going to move on to the next. Sorry, Taylor. Maybe you'll pick it up next time. I think you need heartbreak for your song. And I'm not wishing that on you, but either you need heartbreak or you need to have a kid. That stops 2 out of 5 for me. Maybe a half if I'm being gentle. Which movie? Jeff says that I'm not the target of that movie. It wasn't a movie. It was just music from her thing. So it wasn't interesting. Like, she duped all of her fans into coming and listening to her album for like $20. So
smart.
Cool. Is that smart? Like, okay. All right. We'll get to that. Let's get to our next one, because this is another one I felt duped by. Even more so. No stars. I give The Strangers Chapter 2 no stars. At least Taylor got 2. This I didn't think it. I like this less than I liked Halloween End, and I hated Halloween. But I don't even hate this movie. The Strangers Chapter 2, I'd like to tell you that it's anything interesting or has a good story to it. It picks up where the first one left off, where the young lady who was attacked and her boyfriend was killed. They were on this getaway and strangers show up in this town. And then it picks up from there, and she's in the hospital, and they're just relentlessly chasing her down to kill her. Okay, why? First off, they never explain why they're relentlessly trying to kill her. They give sort of like these half-ass backstories to everything about like the two main, adult ones. There's a pinup girl and they call him Scarecrow Head. They call him Sackhead back in the day with the original verse. But they call him Scarecrow in that. And she's pinup girl, and the other one is, I think, Dollface, right? So that's them. They're just strangers who go out and kill supposedly the police because they don't want to get in trouble with the Fed. Just cover this up. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense why this town, who you find out who it is in this town, who they were, but it makes absolutely no sense that any of this is being cleaned up. There's no direct explanation, which you'll probably get in the third one, but why do I have to get to the third of a trilogy to understand the killers? This is probably one of the dumbest movies. The Strangers Chapter 2 is Rennie Harlan, I don't know what you're doing, but apparently you didn't even watch the first. First, this movie starts off by telling you that like 2,700 people in the U.S. were killed by strangers. I'm like, first of all, that seems like a lowball number for a year in this country. And I'm not trying to say that or make light of it, but it does feel like a lowball number. Secondly, You went out of your way to tell us that all these people die because of strangers every year, and then proceed to tell us who the strangers are in this movie. But not a lot. Just kind of like, they met when they were kids. They're really into this. And it's like, this is stupid. This whole movie from beginning to end, there's nothing catchy about it. There's nothing interesting. The shots, the lighting, nothing about it is that good. It tries to like mimic like an older Halloween 2 or other horror movies that we've seen before. Like, whereas the first one was a copy of Halloween. This is a copy of Halloween 2. You have no originality in your story. You have no originality in the characters. You have no originality even in the naming of the characters that we've already come known and liked and appreciated. This is a god-awful film, and I probably should have put it first, but we're talking horror for the rest of this. So I will just say this, like, I'm gonna see the third one because I'm gonna review it. Unless I quit this. This actually make me quit reviewing movies because I really don't want to see that third one. It really was that terrible. And anybody who's out there who wants to defend this movie, good luck. I don't want to hear it. Maybe Paul will listen to you because this is indefensible. You made a carbon copy. It's basically the 80s all over with this movie. It's just the fluff that somebody put out there thinking they were going to make this interesting horror movie, and it doesn't work. You've done nothing to add, and I don't even want to talk about it anymore. I hate it. What do you think?
So, going against everything Mick said, just kidding. No, this movie sucked. I completely agree. There were too many shot issues. Like, we just want to talk about shots where 3 of the 4 people in a shot were completely soaked wet, and then the main character is just lightly damp in her barely. Mm-hmm. And a lot of mess ups like that where I was like, did we just not care? Did we just say, well, it doesn't match the shot, but whatever, let's just move the fuck on? How
about like the 10-minute interlude of, let's not even bring the killers back. Let's just bring a wild boar into this.
Yes, and I got questions about that because the 3 of us that saw it together remember her left leg getting mauled, but then when you show her limping, it's her right leg. And I'm not going to watch this fucking thing again just to see if I'm right or wrong. But we all remember it was the left leg, but her left leg was perfect. Her right leg was messed up. So who knows? Anyway, it's a waste of time. I was going to say 1 just to be nice, but I mean, if we can say 0, then cool. I'm good with 0.
0 works. I gave it a half star on Letterboxd because you can't really give it a 0 without it being recognized that you watched it, which is stupid because there's not many. I have like 2 movies I gave a 0 out of stars for. This and I think that Atlas movie with Jennifer Lopez last year, and that's for years. Like, I'm sure I can go back and find others throughout the years because there are truly terrible movies. This is you didn't even do a good enough job. Like, for me, like, I defended Halloween Kills when it first came because I was like, no, they're bridging to something, and this is a great bridge movie. I can't even say that about this. It doesn't make sense. Like, there's no point in bridging. Why are they even after her? It's so stupid. And it's not even like this thought of like, because they're all about self-preservation, the strangers, like, you know, not getting caught. Like, that's why and it doesn't even make sense that people are preserving them and allowing them to go. Like, it's so dumb. And oh my God. And that ending where they explain Tamara. And I don't want to give it away just in case anybody wants to see this, although I should ruin it so you don't go see it. I'm not gonna. The way which is from the first movie, which was personalized to the director and writer of the first. Tamara was like, he was home, like babysitting his brothers, and some girl walked up to the door, knocked on the door, and said, "It's Tamara." And he just thought to include that into his story because he thought it was a really creepy moment.
Right.
And now they've just changed it to a point where it's like, this makes no sense. Why are they even out? Why are they even around?
Then it opens up the question, so is the first movie supposed to be in the same universe? The original Strangers, is that supposed to be part of this universe as well? Because I thought it was just based in this one small town, which looks like a rundown old town. So the other place, they were in like a suburban looking area, first one.
Yep.
So it's like, do they just travel wherever?
I assumed that this is sort of a prequel.
This is the prequel. That makes it even worse. I swear to God, if they put this as a prequel into this third movie, because I'm going to have to see it. That's the sad part. I'm going to have to see it.
Yeah.
If they loop it as a prequel, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be like, nah, you guys just pissed me off.
If it's a prequel, I'm going to call it now. The girl they're chasing is going to become the new pinup girl.
Interesting.
No, it's not interesting. Okay. That's incredibly stupid. I hope they don't.
It's interesting. I mean, I don't know what they could do to make it worse, man. Because like even some of the people, I'll just say people, so I don't give it away for you guys. You're gonna hate it, but people got like stabbed in certain areas and stuff like that, just walking around fine. I'm like, wait, what? Like we're just not saying like getting impaled by things actually hurts you. Like,
well, I don't
not
want
demons.
I don't want to give it away, but I am correct that Pinup Girl was the girl from the diner who's the waitress, right?
Yes.
And that was the same girl who picks him up in this with the other girl, picks her up.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they allude to that her male roommate who, if ever there was a serial killer, it's him. Look at the way he talks to people, dude. He's like in her face, just like, oh, yeah, you're the one everybody's talking about, huh? Yeah, it must be scary to get scared. Like, you're clearly 1,000% a killer. Whether you're this killer or another one, you've murdered somebody, and
yes.
And they let you know that it's him. Like they red herring the whole thing, and then it's just like, no, it's them, and you're like, what? And it doesn't even make sense because there's 4 of them. I hate this so much. 0 stars. 0 stars.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't even want to talk. Let's get to our final movie, which I like. This one actually was another reason that I'm bringing down Taylor, is because I gave this one a 2.5, and this one deserves it more than Taylor does. I know you probably didn't like this one. There are things about it that I like. Now, as far as the VHS Halloween movies or VHS movies in general, as you guys know, they're found footage films that generally are around VHS. Somebody watching some VHSs that are really twisted. They're all anthologies. They're made by different horror directors that are around today. This is no different. VHS Halloween, and all of them are Halloween stories. A lot of them are the same Halloween story, in my opinion. There's definitely some themes there, but overall, like there were aspects of this that I do like. The things about found footage is when it's in your face, kind of like Hell House is. I feel like that works in found. I feel like that really helps the story go along. And like there are a few stories in this that I do feel like the stories are very solid. Now I can't remember all the names of them, but at the moment, but one of them was a Spanish speaking film that I thought was really good supernatural story with a lot of callback and such. That was like the second story. The first story, which is it has to deal with like a mama and her babies in a trick-or-treating fashion. Wasn't a great story, but I thought it was really effective found footage filming. The practical effects worked really good. Everybody looked cool. How it ended was pretty dark and ominous, and I overall appreciated that one. So by the time you get to the next trick-or-treat ones that get trapped in a house, which is a lot. All of these are sort of like trick-or-treaters get trapped in a house or into a supernatural thing. It wasn't as effective for me. Like this one was really effective. The others, and it ended sort of on a sputter in my opinion. Although I will say the House of Horrors one, where this father every year does this House of Horrors. They're playing it up with him and his son. His son's sort of getting bored with it, and they do it this year, and he wants to go extra scary, and he actually, like Evil Dead style, awakens all of these creatures on Halloween that come alive. But they did it really interesting. I like the ghost effects of them and everything. So there are some shining moments to this. That's why I gave it a 2.5. But Paul, what did you think about it?
So I actually love this one. I'm not going to lie. I put it at 3.5.
I'll take that.
I really enjoy it. I think the part I hated the worst is typically for the last couple VHS compilation movies, I like the background story for why they're watching the videos. I've typically liked that better than a lot of the films that they've had. But this time I hated the whole scientist thing. I thought it was garbage and was getting annoying. It was too drawn out. I loved every single one of those. I don't know. It just seemed like everybody cared. I thought it was very well done. You know, that second one you were talking about was like a found footage barbarian-esque type movie. I appreciated it. Like I think I watched it with a group of 5 people at the house, 5 people plus me, so all 6 of us, and we loved it. And you know, they're not the biggest horror fans, so a lot of times they were jumping and shit like that, so I know they did their parts right. But I did enjoy this. Probably since the last 3 VHS movies, this is probably the most solid one that I will watch again.
See, it's funny that you mentioned that. Okay, so to pull them up and really talk about them, there's this phantasma interlude that sort of was happening throughout, which I think in these movies you do need, especially for as long as they've been going on and as many as there are. I didn't like that either. I was with you. Now, the makeup effects were cool.
Yes.
Like when the can is being sucked into the guy's face, like it was really gross and cool. And I thought they did a good job. But then they did the first story was Coochie Coochie Coo. It was creepy. You do feel, I might even go up because you're right. Like there are some, and that was directed and written by Anna Zlovkovic. The first one was written by Brian M. Ferguson. And then we get to Ut Supra Sic Infra, written and directed by Paca Plaza. That's my favorite. That's the Spanish speaking one. Yeah. Because I like
some cool scenes. Yeah,
they did, man. In fact, that ending scene with all the cops is cool too. Yeah. Fun Size, I didn't love. Fun Size, I felt like was like a real copy of Coochie Coochie Coo. It was okay. Now the villains were interesting in it.
Yeah,
but I thought the villain in Coochie, because it was a similar sort of story. I'm like, well, this one was just more interesting. Like this would have been interesting in another one, kind of separate the two a little bit. But right. There were some cool effects in it. I didn't love the story. It's a cool concept. Like whereas Coochie Coochie Coo, I'm like, that's a story. I thought that worked. Right. This one, I was like, this is a cool concept. Being turned into candy. Kid Print, written and directed by Alex Ross Perry, was dark. Twisted. It was dark. It was a dark one.
I was like, Jesus.
It's Christ. Unsettling. Like I think that's why it lost points for me. I was like, you went too unsettling. But I don't think it's bad. I think it fits and it works. And then Home Haunt, which is the last one, was the House of Horrors. Takes place in the 80s and such. Good. I didn't love the story. It was a good enough story, but it just didn't blow me away or anything. But the effects were very good.
Yes.
I thought, and that one was written and directed by Micheline Pitt Norman and R.H. So you had some really interesting filmmaking in this one. And maybe Phantasma is what took me out, because every time you get to it, I'm like, I'm just not there. Like, I think Fun Size and the Phantasma stuff could have been gone or replaced.
Okay. You see, I think what made the candy one stick out for me is I was with the right group of people. So when there was a chocolate dick, everyone's cutting up, making jokes. All of us are looking up if we can find this online. Yeah. I think if I hadn't been with my group, I might not have appreciated it as much, but just because we're all children when we watch movies, it made it a lot for us.
Yeah, and that's fine. And I can understand that ending the points, but I didn't have that fun experience. I had, he's eating a chocolate dick. This is me and all my guy friends, what? Oh my! All my guy friends weren't hanging around, just like, can I order a chocolate dick?
I tried, man. I tried looking everywhere
for that because I didn't have any friends who wanted to order a chocolate.
So, I'll order you one.
I don't want you to order me one.
Write that down so I don't forget. Order Mick.
So you're going 3.5 out of this one?
Yes, sir.
That's respectful. I get it. So I say go check out VHS Halloween. The other two, maybe the other one's gone, and you don't have to worry about it. But that's our reviews for this episode, our 6th anniversary episode. And now we're going to kick things off. We got some comments away, and Jeff is here. I want to say thank you. He did say that Taylor was for his kids. I get that, but it's not. Trust me, you should listen to these songs. There isn't one song about Travis's dick. There is not one song. There is multiple dedicated lines in other songs to Travis's dick. This woman she calls herself Dickmatized. Yep. Just like you were watching VHS Halloween, she calls herself Dickmatized. And thank you, Jeff, for congratulating us. Appreciate it. Zorgar Boat. Well, we are talking about right now. We're gonna get into our top 5. Finish that off. Then we're gonna make fun of Paul for being Dickmatized. Fun Size Dickmatized too. You and Taylor Swift are both Dickmatized by Fun Size.
Man, I don't get Dickmatized. I get ball gazed.
That's my God. A little bit from column A, a little bit from column B. I thought it'd be fun if we talked about movies we reviewed. I did this way too impromptu. So if you don't have a list.
No, I have a list.
Okay. You're always prepared. I know.
It's tough though. It was really hard, man. I'm not gonna lie. There are a lot of movies I know aren't. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm into it. So let's start with our number 5. What do you got for me for number 5?
So I cheated a little. I think you guys will understand. So I said Dune 1 and 2 as just number 5.
That's my number 5 too.
Yeah,
that's my number. Yeah, Dune 1 and 2 are both because I think it's a great story together. Separate, I can watch them separately too, but it's so good together for sure.
Yes.
That's a good show. I like that. I'm actually surprised we got that both for number 5. Wow. All right. I dig it. What is your number 4?
My number 4 is actually the one we just reviewed, so I knew I could cheat with that, and that's VHS Halloween.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. You put it on your list before you reviewed it, so that's how good it was for you. He was dickmatized by that movie, I'm telling you.
It's a chocolate dick, man.
The fact it's no longer 3.5. It's just going to be dickmatized on his. For sure. So my number 4 on this list is Sinners. I love Sinners. It's new. I have 2 from this year on here that just blew me away. But yeah, number 3.
This one might surprise you, Mick, but it was actually Godzilla minus. We immensely love that one.
All right, my number 3 is Top Gun Maverick.
Okay.
I love Top Gun Maverick. I think they did a really good job with it. Yeah. All right. That's a great choice, by the way. And the reason I'm not saying anything about it is because my number 2. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is actually The Long Walk. I can't get over that movie. I'm excited to buy them.
Is that your ball gazing one?
Yeah.
That's the one that really ball gazed with you.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Godzilla -1.
Yeah.
It's such a great movie. So I had a feeling some of these are going to be similar. So good choice, though. Long Walk was good. I should have put Long Walk on there, but these 5 movies, much as I loved The Long Walk, I was like, these movies just hit me harder. What's your number 1?
You know what my number 1 is.
I think so, but I want you to say it.
It's Late Night with the Devil, ladies.
Nice. That was on my initial list that I had to whittle down. But my number 1 on this list is One Battle After Another.
I still need to see it.
One of the best movies I've seen in like 10 years. They do a phenomenal job with it. That's probably. But yeah, that's our top 5, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and talking about our top 5 movies we've reviewed. We'll bring back another top 5 Friday, so be there for that. Now, Paul, what other movies have you been dickmatized by?
I recently got to watch with Matt. Toxic Avenger.
Oh, I love that one.
He absolutely loved it. So now we got to watch the original because I did it out of order. I was like, we're going to watch this. Then we'll watch it. He loved it. We loved it. It's hilarious. I love Peter Dinklage.
He was great, and there's a lot of heartfelt moments to it. Jacob Tremblay was good in the movie too, as the kid. Everybody was. Like even Kevin Bacon seemed like he was having a ball. But
yes. You
have to warn him about the original.
No.
You have to warn. It's not the same.
I hope you're not watching it, Matt. I just want no context. Don't tell him nothing's different. Just have him watch it. Bask.
Go in blind, but if he is easily offended...
You haven't played Fortnite with that man. You just haven't played Fortnite with that man.
No, I'm not saying easily offended.
No,
there are some, like even when I watch, this is pushed.
Yeah,
but I love it. But I love it because of like the history behind it and what it was. And I'll always love Uncle Lloyd, but yeah.
Because he likes poultry guys. So, like, he'll be fine.
84 was a lot different than, like, 2007, dude. 84 was a lot. The caliber of filmmaking, even at Tromo, was way different. Do you remember that movie?
Not super well, I'm not going to lie. So, I'm excited to rewatch. There are a lot of those old ones where they're quick to certain slurs where I'm like, oh, my God, just freely.
Oh, my God, dude.
Don't care. Don't give a shit. Like,
Lloyd is like that, though. But Lloyd isn't like that in a way where he picks on people or he's racist. Lloyd is like that in a way where he I don't know, he has like this way about him. He says certain things. He's almost like putting the absurdity in your face of like, why would you ever be a racist? This is stupid. Like the way he jokes and you're just kind of like, I can't even get mad. Like I've heard people say this viciously and the way you're saying it is like, yeah, it is stupid to be a racist. Right. It's like you have this way about you, Uncle Lloyd. And those movies really conveyed that well. Like I love crazy ass trauma. Like some go a little, not Toxic Avenger goes far, but I've seen some trauma movies, especially from the 70s, where I'm like, y'all went too far. Bloodsucking Freaks.
I got you.
Too far. It shouldn't exist. Let me ask you this. Let's get into that. What are some movies or
like movies I thought went too far?
Either thought went or do you think just in general that movies can go to?
I think it's tough. I think there's only one that I ever felt kind of truly uncomfortable in. Call me a softie or whatever. Spit on Your Grave kind of bothered me a lot. I think that's one of the few gore porn type movies that I've only been able to watch one time. Friends are like, oh, I've never seen it. Can we watch it? I'm like, I can't sit through that again, man. It's just too rough. So that's where I say too far. But then there are ones like like Mel Brooks movies. So we'll say like Blazing Saddles or something like that, where it's almost like they're on the line, but just because of the context of it and it being a comedic thing, it just lightens it up. But still, you know, I don't think if Mel Brooks was just starting today, he'd make.
Yeah, no way. No way. And yeah, that's another thing too. Like why though? Like it bothers me. I think that it could be made today. My issue with it, like any movie from back in the day where we were like pushing envelope, could it be made today? Of course it could. But that type of genius, we don't see anymore. Like we do, but like it's not in that comedic world. The Wayans brothers, some of the last ones that really pushed it. And then those scary movies kind of went off the wall when they left. You know what I mean?
God, those things were ridiculous.
But those first two were really good. You know, like they really solid movies. And I think like, and when I'm talking about comedically speaking, I don't think that's anybody saying you can't do this. It's just that it's like, we're not going to pay for it. And if you don't put a budget into Blazing Saddles, it's not going to work.
Right. That part.
Like that whole movie on that scope of what they were going for worked perfectly. I think it was just, it's just sad because it's like an old Hollywood that like some producers are willing to push the brink to get the reward or to at least like make something that stood out. And I just don't feel like like even now, like when I was going through all my past 6 years worth of reviews, and as I'm sitting there and I'm looking at them, I'm like, it's just not like there's nothing here, even in my list, that I feel like is maybe Sinners will be, and I think that's more along the lines of who Ryan Coogler is, the brilliance of that filmmaking. One Battle After Another, as great as it is, you come to expect that from Paul Thomas Anderson. Not Licorice Pizza, but you all have one. But like when he directs a movie, you're expecting it to be great. You know, like Jordan Peele directs a movie. Like I think a lot of people were upset that he didn't direct him, and I think that's why they didn't like it as much personally, because I think they're expecting him. I think they're expecting Peele, and it wasn't. And it's not as good by comparison. So when you watching that, it's like, what are we gonna like? Not saying we don't have brilliant filmmaking, but even like you look at Denis Villeneuve, who did Dune, just essentially a remake. Right. Which what was the last one he did? Which was Blade Runner 2049, which was a continuation off of one that had already been done that we had like talked about the brilliance. So original brilliance, I think. Right. Like, where do we go? Yeah. Like, do you see any now?
I mean, outside of besides like Jordan Peele that I can easily name, it's tough to be like, oh yeah, this is original ideas and different takes for different creatures we're used to or different ways of talking about social events going on. Jordan Peele's really the only one that just pops in my head like that real quick. I think Shudder's done a pretty decent job with some of their backing with like Late Night with the Devil or In a Violent Nature. Or even what was the other one? Oddity. But I wouldn't say any of those were technically original ideas. Like we've seen it done before.
Yeah, I think horror in general is very rarely do you see original ideas. But I think that's okay because a lot of times horror is meant to like show you society, right? Right. And I think when you do that in horror, and that's not to say there's not brilliance in horror. We've seen it, The Shining, Psycho, and those aren't the only ones. Like I was talking about Sinners earlier. I think that is a brilliance because it took the vampire lore and did something different with it. And I'm not even talking about adding the racial tensions into it and things like that and all those connotations. I'm talking about just in general of like you did like sort of like this musical vampire, right? And that's different and it worked and it was very well done. So like things that stand out like that, like real chances of being taken. Horror does take chances, but when does it stop being chances? Like if you do a really gory film, like is it a chance when we already have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? We already have all these ones that are just as gory. Or are you continuing a tradition and adding a great story or a great movie into the plot? Not the plot, but like into the fold of everything. Right. I just the brilliance always seemed to come from something that stands out, and I don't see a lot of standout movies. No,
no, not like we used to. They almost look the same, and that's why I'm glad that I just forgot his name. He was in him with him directing the
Justin Tipping.
And so Marlon Landry. Thank you. With them doing the Scary Movie, because I think that's why Scary Movie went so far off the rails is because they weren't a part of it. Yeah, he wasn't. And I'd put him up there with Jordan Peele. He knows horror and he knows comedy very fucking well. So I'm excited for this next scary movie, and just that he's back in general.
Yeah, and there's a lot to cover. Like that was the thing. Like the first two movies, like that first movie was a real beat on what horror looked like in the late 90s, right? And it was really covering it well with a lot of old influence sprinkled in. And then that second one was like, we have a lot of other horror influences. We're going to make fun of that. And then sprinkle in new stuff, which I thought was inverted and worked really well for those. And then the next ones just were copying whatever horror movies were coming out in the last few years.
Yeah.
And I was like, this just doesn't work. But now with them coming back, I'm stoked because, like, what are you going to get? Like, they have 25 years of horror to kind of make fun of. And three, well, I mean, if you think about it, it's Keenan Ivory Wayans, Damon Wayans, I don't know if will have anything to do with it, but Sean and Marlon, I'm sure, will come back for it. So if you think about it from that perspective, you have three black voices that have been in the fold for 40 plus years in Hollywood, know Hollywood really well, have been doing this and started this horror movie parody. So like to have 25 years to pull from, you're going to get Justin Peele made fun of. You're going to get Sinners made fun of, but by masters of comedy.
Right. 100%.
So it's going to be great. I can't wait for that. What does that look like? It'll be so good. Movies in general, though, man. I don't know. What do you like? Is there anything that you're super excited for going forward?
I'd have to pull out a list. I know there's a couple of horror movies coming out this month that look good, and just other movies in general. I really need to see that the new wrestling movie with The Rock.
Oh yeah, Smashing Machine. I haven't seen it yet either. I was going to review it tonight, but I didn't get a chance to go. I heard he's really good. I didn't hear the movie was great, but
okay.
I heard he does a really good job in it. So, I'll check it out. I don't love The Rock. He just kind of annoys me in later years. He seems like he's always got his nose. It's just like, dude, we don't need you to be in every movie, or we don't need you to compete with every movie.
Right.
Although, I'm sorry, I heard some news, and it really affects you with your favorite franchise of all time, the Fast and the Furious franchise. You know how much you love that franchise. They said they may not be coming out with the final.
Well, thank God.
I guess
I would gladly watch The Strangers Chapter 2 4 times before watching a Fast and Furious movie.
You're sick in that. You're sick in that. No way. I can't watch that movie ever again. Ugh. Dude, all I know is Vin Diesel has come out and said that they're good, everybody's ready to go, and then Warner Brothers, I guess, or whoever, or Universal came out and was just like, no, we have no script, there's no nothing, nobody signed on to come back, it may not happen. How wild would that be if this franchise that was building, because it's been 3 years since it came out, and it was supposed to come out the very next year, which is bonkers to me. How did you God, just finish your story? They were going to change it all out. Talk about franchises just fizzled to nothing, right? That probably, let's be real, and I'm not saying that I'm not glad that they don't exist, that they exist, they do exist, and I'm fine with that, but that's a franchise that probably never should have happened.
It's fair.
Well, I know you want them to happen because you're you wanted to be in that first one all the way through. You were I would have been Paul, I would have been the guy, I would have been part of the Mi Familia, as they call it. You would have been all in. You would have been you would have been jet setting all around the world in your car. But let me ask you this: would you have gone to space? No. You wouldn't go to space if they offered you in a duct tape car. You're a liar. You're a liar. I don't believe you. Nobody believes you.
I wouldn't ride with them in a McDonald's drive-through in one of their shit boxes that they're not going to space.
You're not telling the truth. You're not being honest. You would.
I'm being honest. I would not. With that shit airbagged and all that, nah, dude. I'd just roast the shit out of them the whole time. They would hate me. They'd kick me out of the car before we even got out of the driveway.
Oh my God. God, I could imagine you're just starting to smoke. They're entering the outer atmosphere and you're like, hey, can somebody crack a window? I got smoke. It's no.
I just start smoking. I'd be like, guess what? Welcome to my world. If it's raining outside, I ain't got rain guards. We're just breathing it right back.
Dude, I can imagine you in the car just racing. What to do? You're going to hit that guardrail. You're going to flip midair, and then you're going to land on your wheels while you're on the hood of your car jumping to the next car next to you. And you're like, Vin, that doesn't work. It doesn't work there. I call him Vin, but it is Dominic in his name. Dominic Toretto or whatever. Oh, it's Toretto. It's always Toretto. I know the joke's been made a million times, but how many DVD players do you have to sell to be able to afford those cars? Because those are some fancy cars. Yeah. they went from stealing DVD players and TVs to being billionaires because they stole some drug dealer's money.
Yeah.
And that's okay. That's just work. Even the Ocean's 11 guys had to give their money back.
Yeah.
That's another one that's coming out too.
Oh, that will be good. I think Black Phone 2 is a big one. I'm excited.
I don't like, would you take that?
See, here's my problem from the trailer. So just basing it off the trailer, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't like how it looks like they stole 90% of that trailer from Nightmare on Elm Street, the first.
Yeah, it really does seem like they're turning him into Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, so I am interested. I still want to see it. I love the first one, but I just finished watching Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one, and I'm like, God damn! If I put that trailer almost shot for shot with Black Phone instead of it being a phone booth, it's just normal bed and things like that, I'm like, nope. It looks like a duplicate, but maybe they'll add an extra spin to it or make it good. But
here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping against hope because Ethan Hawke signed up for it that it's good. That doesn't always mean that Ethan Hawke is in good movies. But he is very selective about the movies he's going to do. So I don't know if he was contractually obligated to do this one or he decided to come back, but I feel like they're like the Mason Thames has been in so many things since the first Black Phone, and he's now the star of the Dragon movies, the hidden. What do they call
How
it?
to Train Your
Dragon. I was going to say the Hidden Dragon or whatever. That's Pete. Pete's the hidden one. So them coming back, like I feel like if you're the star of again, I was going to go Hidden Dragon, but the How to Train Your Dragon live actions, he could have gotten out of it in some way if he really didn't want to do it. They all seem to be on board and talking pretty positively about it. So I'm hoping it's the problem of horror movies. Here's where we go. You can't have a human horror. Not saying that you can't, but I'm saying amongst horror fans, most cases, to take a human being killer and then kill them off in your movie only to bring them back in the sequel and they're some sort of supernatural being. You can do it if it's done right, but that's almost next to never done right. And it has to be written believably stupid.
Yeah. Like
your audience had to believe when Jason gets hit by lightning that now he's an undead killer and you're fine with it.
Right.
So what do you see being the explanation that works for you to make the Black Phone killer or demon face, whatever it is?
I'm stretching because I did think about this, Mick. The only fucking thing I can think of is after all these years in that whole town, the only place that has a phone line that's still jacked into the main phone line is that payphone at that that's why they have to go. Because everything else is cell phones now and everything else.
Wait, but it takes place in the 80s.
Yeah, but it's still after the first one. I'm just saying, look, I'm stretching.
Wait, no. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm trying to understand. Mm-hmm. That's it. I'm not questioning it. I am, but just understand it. So the Black Phone was in the basement of his home.
Right.
This one's out in the middle by a camp.
Yep.
So you're saying that the payphones in general are hardwired together? And that's why he's able to?
Kind of going by Matrix standards. Yes.
Listen. Again, I like a movie called Ghost in the Machine, which makes no sense. The guy gets in a car accident and ends up in a fucking mainframe. Well, I did leave out a few steps, like an MRI machine, but none of it believable. But it does take that weird 80s, 90s simple explanation sometimes, I think, for people to be like, all right, I buy it. I think when you overcomplicate it, people are like, nah, this is it. This is too much.
Right.
It would be kind of cool.
I still don't, because I'm still curious what, because at the end of the day, I'm still curious why if you're going to say, well, that's where something happened to him and that's what changed him. I'm like, really, that camp? So why didn't he just fuck with people at that camp? Are you guys just paying homage to some of the original horror movies of that time? Because I haven't read the Black Phone book, so I don't know what they're like or what the second book I'm assuming is like. So maybe this is him paying his respects to those characters. Maybe it is supposed to pay homage to Freddy.
Until you said that, I didn't even know there were books.
Yeah, because it's a different. Oh, I forget what his surname is. It's Joey something, but it's Stephen King's son. He just has.
Joe Hill.
That one. Yeah,
he wrote the Black Phone is Joe Hill. Mm-hmm. That's cool. I might look into that then. I like some of his stories. Nosferatu was pretty good. I don't know though.
I like his Audible. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not a reader, but I'm definitely a listener. So I'm all about some Audible. I'm at a camp. First of all, it's at a camp during the winter. None of this makes sense.
I'm so annoyed by it now. No, I'm not really. I'm excited to see what they do with it. I didn't realize it was a book. I'm interested in that. I kind of want to read the book now and see what it's all about. Who's directing the sequel? So Scott Derrickson's back, and he wrote it too. I like Scott Derrickson, so I don't know. I'm interested.
I hope it's good.
That's where I'm at. What's some other horror that's coming?
I
have everything listed, but I just don't have it.
Let me see.
I don't know. Like this week we have Tron, Ares, Roofman. I just wish there was so much.
I'll see those two, but boo. Good Fortune looks amusing, but I feel like the trailer is what the movie's going to be.
Shelby Oaks, which is Chris Stuckman's new movie, is another podcaster, movie reviewer on YouTube. He annoys me though, because he came out when he started making this movie. He came out and he was like, "Oh, I no longer want to talk bad about movies." And it's like, first of all, that's not how it works. If just because you want to be in the industry, they're going to respect you less if you're just going to stroke their dick. If you're dickmatized by them so much, they're going to not like speak your truth. And again, like I feel like we can be critical. You a little more so, like say a movie's bad, but at least look for the good,
right?
I just don't like movie reviewers who try to stroke dick. Unless like you for fun, you can do it for fun. Yeah, but don't do it to get ahead.
Yeah, I can't stand reviews that everything is great or everything's dog shit. And I think you and I typically, even if you hate the movie and I love it, our ratings are still about the same because we still, like you said, you find the good. Yeah. Like there have been plenty of movies where the story sucked, the acting sucked, but the cinematography and everything else was superb. And we're usually about right on there. I think it's very rarely, you and I at least have been at like, it's a 1, and I've been like, it's clearly a 4 or 4.5 or something crazy where it's like, wait, what? It's usually 2 and then maybe a 3 or 3.5. Yeah. Which is healthy.
We'll see like how the movie is when it comes out. Like if it comes out, I think it was supposed to come out already, but I don't know. We'll see how it is. But I'm not overly excited for any. And maybe the Springsteen movie, which isn't a horror, but like I do like Springsteen. I like Jeremy Allen White. I want to see how they do together. So and I loved his book, Springsteen's book. So and this was based. So
that will be interesting.
Yeah, it's not.
I want a Pink Floyd one. I'm like fiending for a Pink one since they did Led Zeppelin. Give me a good Pink Floyd one.
That's good.
Ozzy would be amusing too. I meant to tell you, I was watching I can't remember the podcast, some fancy podcast, whatever. Good for y'all. But they had a gentleman on there, and he said that he had just talked to Mel Brooks, and they are actively working on Spaceballs too.
They are. Yeah. Everybody's coming back for it too.
Super stoked.
Even
super stoked.
Lewis Pullman, who played the Century and Bob in Thunderbolts this year, and he's been in tons of stuff. He's going to be in it, and that's Bill Pullman's son. So I'm excited to see how that plays out. Unfortunately, John Candy won't be there, but hopefully they'll have a good
Ooh, that's a good question. Who would you want to play him if you got a cast for it? Because those are big shoes. Who do you think could do that?
I feel like you'd have to do it. You'd have to be different.
Okay.
Like because I don't feel like it's going to be Barf. I feel like if they're pulling in Lewis Pullman's kid, they're probably going to do Barf's kid maybe, and Barf passed away or something. It's such a, I mean, it's cool that Rick Moranis is coming back, but what do you do? I don't know. Josh Gad.
I like it.
He's in it. I didn't make that up. He's also one of the writers on it. Josh Gad will also be in the film. I looked it up because I'm like, who could be in it? And like, as soon as I read Josh Gad, I'm like, yeah, he was in a good. I just reviewed a movie. I think you and Stan would like. It's called Adulthood.
Yeah, we watched it. We sure did. We immensely liked it. So we were just looking for a movie. We love Josh Gad. So I was like, I have yet to have him disappoint me. Fuck it. I think it was like $12 on Vudu. So we were like, let's get it. We had a lot of fun. I like him always playing kind of the nervous type character. And it was fun.
Who wrote and directed that?
Was it him?
Alex Winter.
Really?
Yeah, Bill from Bill and Ted.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was, that was pretty cool. He was in it too. He was the guy that their neighbor that walks around and just smokes cigarettes all the time.
So. Feel that. That's me in my real life. So yeah.
Oh my God, is that it? Poor guy.
But if it wasn't going to be Josh Gad, the only other actor that comes to mind is the one that played Belushi from SNL. What was that? Matt Wood, I think is that.
Oh yeah. Wood.
I could see him maybe doing a new spin for Bart and doing it right.
Yeah, I could see that. I would prefer Josh Gad because I think he can also be very loud, and I feel like that works for Barf. He's a solid actor. You know what I mean? Like he really is he's a good actor, and I just think that's a great pick. Like I really do like that, and Mel Brooks is even coming back for it. Man. That's solid. I like that.
And according to Josh Gad, because that's who I was watching on an interview with Josh Gad, it's because he watched Spaceballs with his daughter, and she's like, "Can we watch the second?" And he was like, "They never made a second one." So he called Mel Brooks, had a whole idea pitched out, like what it should be for this next one. And Mel Brooks is like, "I've been waiting for someone to fucking call me about this. Let's do it."
Well, Mel Brooks is not directing it, and he's also not writing it. But Josh Gad, like you said, is writing it. He has Dan Hernandez and Benji Samit as well. But one thing I'm really excited for is Anthony Carrigan, the guy who played their cousin in Adulthood, the bald guy. He has alopecia. He was also in, for anybody who's watching or listening, Barry. He was like NoHo, whatever his name is. I can't remember his name. NoHo Hank. NoHo Hank. That's what it is. He was also in the second season of Twisted Metal, which I thought was great. He's in this too. He is solid in everything I see him in. And like, I know he has a weird look, but like he was great in Superman as well. He played Metamorpho in Superman. Every movie he plays somebody different, and he knocks it out of the park. I don't care. I'm telling producers, I don't care that he doesn't have hair or eyebrow. You can put him in everything, and I will accept him as a normal human being walking down the street, and nobody will be upset. He's that good of an actor. I like Anthony Carrigan. That's a name I'm going to remember.
Yes,
for sure. So
can we talk about adulthood with some slight spoilers? Because I got a question. So what bugged us, and granted, we might have missed it because we were being all cutesy together, whatever. I was probably picking on Sam when they went over it. But anyway, why did he choose that house? Because that house wasn't his family's house, is what it seemed like. But I swear, when they first pull up to his house, you hear people in there. So I was like, oh, he must be psycho, and he must have like killed his family and has them at the dinner table or something. But then you never see anyone in there. So I was like, so who was in the house the first time that clearly wasn't there the second time? Like, did we miss something, or is that just never actually?
I think he says something about his mother not being like, I don't know why. I'm going to rewatch it again. It was that good. I like the movie. So I'll let you know on the second rewatch, but you're right. There was a scene where he goes to the house, and it's like, it does seem like there's somebody, like his mom or somebody is there at least. And then when they come back for the second one, there's nobody there. You're right. Because then they get into like everything that transpires. And you can't do that with people there. So I'm going to look into it, see if there's any dialogue that kind of locks those two together. But yeah, no, I agree. It might be a misstep. Or maybe there might have been dialogue in the beginning. It's like, hey, my mom's here right now. She's visiting or whatever. I have to double check.
Right. And it still makes it fun. Even if they did keep it a mystery, I'm kind of like, that's fine. Like maybe they just did that to make him seem a little creepier than he was, because he was just a loving cousin.
He really did seem so lonely, right?
Yeah.
Just
bringing up stories. You remember when we? I'm like, oh
my god, and then oh my god, yeah, that was pretty heartbreaking. I'm not giving it away, but it was like heartbreaking, like just like how they weren't interested. But that's adulthood, and you should watch it. It's a good movie.
Oh my god, when they try to rough the brother and sister up, and they bring in their big guy in, and dude, I was pissing myself. He like pukes after us. Anyway,
he's always upset. Yeah, I don't want to give away too much because it's really crazy. And there's some really good people in it, like Billy Lord, who's Carrie Fisher's daughter's in it. She's been in quite a few things. I can't remember Kaya Scario or something like that. I can't remember the main actress's name that plays the sister, but she did a phenomenal job in it. She really holds the seriousness down. Like she's the straight character throughout, and like she does it really well. Because Josh Gad is just freaking out. It's just wonderful.
100%.
It's so well done. Oh, God. Well, I think for year number 6, this was we had some good times. But,
yes,
we're hanging out. We're having a good old time. And before we go, let me thank our sponsors on Story Society over on school.com. Links down below. You can join up. There's great community of creators. It's a platform where you can just kind of connect with people more on a personal scale, hang out with them, learn from them. We have classes there, stuff like that. Go check them out. And also Lustrauen, who does custom shades, custom blinds, curtains, the whole nine. You can send them your look, your pictures of your living room, and they'll help design ones specifically for you. So go check them out below. That's 20% off, I think, on both. So can't wait for you guys to see that. Hey, October 18th, if you're not around, too bad, because you're going to miss out on something great. But if you are around, watch Casters for a Cause charity script read. We'll all be there October 8th, starting 7 p.m. Eastern. We're collecting to help the family drive-in at Stevens City, Virginia. So make sure you're there for that. But Paul, before we get going, I don't have any mixed picks tonight. We'll be back again on Friday for that. Tonight was just an impromptu. Have fun. Happy 6th anniversary, Paul. Happy 6th anniversary, audience. Thank you guys for joining in and hanging out. Paul, you got anything you want to add before we get going?
I guess I'll do my encouragement on Friday, but tonight my quest to you guys: send us good movies you think we should watch. Like, I'm dying, especially for horror. Like, try to deep dive. I'd never mind mainstream horror movies, but 10 out of 10 times I've already seen it. Like, send me those Siberian doctor whatever kills so and so. Like, I want to really deep dive and have some good movie picks for October. So send me whatever you guys got. I'm ready. I'll watch it. Yeah. And then just keep watching, keep listening. Thanks for 6 years, you guys, even though I haven't been here the whole time. But, here's the 6 more. It's a C4, not alcohol.
5 years.
More.
So, again, yes, thank you guys for 6 years. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Come hang out with us. We're also all over social media. Follow us on Letterboxd. You can follow us over everywhere at the Scene Snobs. But thank you guys again. Make sure to subscribe, hit like, comment along, tell us your favorite movies, what you think about the Taylor Swift release party, and so much more. But until next time, everybody, thank you again. We love movies, and we know you do. You do too. So join us, Snob Nation. But make sure you take care of yourselves. That's important, very important. But until then, remember to be kind, rewind, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.